Hello and welcome to this video today. I am doing a painting for a friend called Paul who has a very lovely cat called Beans. So this painting is a celebration of this lovely cat and I hope you enjoy it. So I'm starting off with what I like to call baby powder blue, Bob Ross style. I'm getting the sky in here. This is with acrylic. Oh, I just giggled at something. It's my inner Chinese girl's coming out. Oh, I've got some dark blue now. Okay. Very nice. That's going in there like that. Very professional. Here we've got some lovely clouds. I think clouds are one of my favourite things to paint of all time because you can make it look like you know how to paint. They're so easy to do. If you just do these like really natural looking gestures and you use a white on another colour background, or actually any contrasting colour if you do it on top of another colour, do cloud-like shapes, and it's just an absolute winner of all time. Again, I'm giggling at something. I don't know what's happened. Oh, wiping over the clouds now. Give them a nice dreamy effect. Again, making it look like I know what I'm doing. Sorry about the colour change, guys. I think the lighting changed at this point. Okay, so sky is done. We are now moving on to the mountains. As you can see, I've gone in with I've gone in with a strong start, gone in with a bold browny colour. Lovely mucky brown colour. And some grey. What's she gonna do next? We never know. I always keep them guessing. Okay. Oh, I heard something. I can't remember what that was. More mountains. Itchy nose. Oh, okay, we're back on it. Back on it. You should be able to see something actually exciting in a second. Something it gets moving, I promise. I promise it gets better, guys. Oh, okay, we've now got green. We've got green coming in into the hill. I decided to turn the very back mountain into a hill, so we'll do some dappling. Again, a quick Bob Ross technique that I learnt years and years ago when I was in the womb. It's some stippling of a slightly lighter colour to make it look like bushes in the distance. Look at that water, I need to go change that. I think I do in a second. That's disgusting. Look at that. Okay, what are we doing now? Oh, okay. We're going in for a really light colour. This is highlighting the bushes in the distance. Fantastic. More stippling. We keep going. Come on, team, we'll get there. Oh, it's okay, taking a step back now. There you go. A colour that you just absolutely didn't see. Oh, bright orange. Okay, what's she going to do? Oh, she doesn't know either. Okay, bringing the peach in. I think I remember at this point I did this and I thought, no, I'm not actually happy with this colour. But don't worry, I fixed it at the end. It's a process, trust the process. More peach for some reason. Even though I'd already decided at this point I didn't like this colour palette. We keep going. These are acrylics, so they're not quite like oils. But if you're using oils, you can build much more easily, in my opinion. Acrylics aren't quite so forgiving because they dry quicker. They don't blend quite so easily. But you can build. And that's what I'm trying to do here. It's just layering. I'm usually used to doing much bigger pictures, and so the techniques that I'm using on this slightly smaller it's not a canvas. I was going to say canvas. It's not. It's a piece of paper. The techniques that I'm using on this piece of paper maybe aren't quite so effective, but I still think that it was really good fun, and I really enjoyed experimenting with it. The main goal, I suppose, of this piece was to try and highlight the personality of Beans and just bring Beans to life in the environment that he is in. Okay, a fir tree is coming into place now. Oh, I'm standing up. Obviously mean business at this point. Oh, I'm sitting down again. Okay, got tired of standing up. Just building in a path now in the bottom left, or trying to. What I'm thinking. What am I thinking? What am I? Oh, okay. No. Oh, no. Okay. It's so funny looking back on these videos because so much of this process happens inside your mind. And oh, we're working on Beans now. Yes, this is the good stuff. This is where Beans comes to life. I love it. I love animals. I love showing their personality in art, not being super realistic. I think there's something so tangible when you bring personality across without trying to go into super realism. I think you can be so expressive, and it's just really playful and fun, and that's what I try to be about. Actually, I haven't mentioned the reference pictures, but you can see to my bottom left and right the images that I'm trying to use as my source material, and that is an actual picture of Beans. I did this painting over a couple of days, which is why you'll see my outfit change ever so slightly. He's finally coming together. Bean's a tuxedo cat with lovely bright yellow eyes, and so I'm just trying to add a bit of texture to the fur around his chest, make that a little more three-dimensional. All the eyes are coming in now. Exciting times. It's looking a bit scary at this point. Oh, his little nose. Bringing some life to the eyes. Isn't it amazing? As soon as you put the pupils in, it just comes to life. So incredible. Again, I'm giggling. What am I giggling at? My inner little Chinese girl's coming out today. Back to the serious work now. Come on. I knew as soon as I'd put the mouth in that it was just too thick. Like the line, I think it was the brush that I used, maybe the thickness of the paint, it just made Beans look so serious. I mean, I think the reference picture is slightly serious anyway. Look, I'm shaking my head. I know it at the time. I'm just thinking, no, it's too thick. I don't think it represents the personality quite in the way that I wanted it to. But we rectify this. So I remember thinking at this point distinctly, like, okay, I've definitely got some ways to go. Even though the painting is done, I was trying to think about different things that I could do to just bring it to life a little bit more, make sure that Beans was front and center of this picture, because I think the background is quite overwhelming at this point. I'm not sure what anybody else thinks. And of course, adding in the wonderful whiskers. Whiskers always feels a bit risky, a little bit like hair, because it's kind of make or break when you're doing these highlights in these situations. If you do the highlight slightly wrong, you've got quite a large area you have to then go back and rectify. And what's funny is that I'm talking about this like I'm actually a professional. I'm really not. And there we go. There is the painting of Beans. And you can see here, I think that some of my large gestural strokes aren't quite working. So this is where I think, okay, I need to come up with a different plan. But I'm pretty happy, more or less. So what I do is I cut out the pieces as if I'm going to make a collage. And this was a bit of a risky move, I'm not going to lie, because it could have completely gone wrong. But it was that, or in my mind, I was thinking I'm going to have to restart the painting. So here I am, patching it together, experimenting with different kinds of papers. What I can do just to relayer it, bring beans front and center. I've got some old matte paper here, which I think is really interesting to try and add in. I don't end up using it in the end because I didn't think it was really right for the picture. I'm trying to map out my different colours, where I'm going to place them, how I'm going to layer them, how am I going to make this have just a bit more thickness, a bit more intrigue. And I love that solid colour of the green behind the picture of beans, behind the painting. So I've done a layer of green, a layer of pale yellow, and normally I'm really not a fan of pale yellow. I think it can go wrong in so many ways, but this just works really well with the eyes. And also what I didn't show you was that I cut out some brighter yellow and went over the eyes again on beans, cut them out of paper and stuck them on. And it just gave it another dimension. I think honestly, one of my favourite parts about the background has got to be the clouds. Just hardly any effort, but I don't know. I really like painting them. Okay, so I've got my hills nice and layered. As you can see, it definitely doesn't look perfect. Oh my gosh. So I was filming these bits with one hand. So I had one hand on a glue stick, and I don't know if you ever tried to glue. Yeah, infuriating. Look at that, see? Flipping everywhere. Don't glue with one hand. Okay, there is the first layer. Okay, beans is now on. Third layer. It's just great. I felt like a 5-year-old again. Felt like I was just cutting it. Well, I was just cutting and sticking, but I loved it. It was great. Now for the final background, just to try and border it. I was thinking about which orientation I should do, and I decided to go landscape in the end and give it a nice white border. And that way I could put it straight in a frame and give it to my friend. And cutting with one hand also would not recommend. Look at that, it's slip. Oh, that's so annoying to watch. It's slipping. Do some last minute touches. Creating a little bit more depth in the eyes, just where there was some tiny white patches. And you can see that my line marks are they're quite thick. Just doing the date here. But that's how I love it. I love these thick colours, contrasting, layering. It's not super realistic, but I actually think that this worked out quite well, if I'm allowed to say that. And look at that grumpy boy. I hope you like it, Paul.